And now we move on to a fight which is very, very exciting. Petr Yan taking on Sean O'Malley. It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. It's a fight to look forward to. I think you've got to side with Petr Yan in the fight and the matchup, though. And honestly, Sean O'Malley is a really good striker, but I do believe that Petr Yan's the better striker. Petr Yan. If you want to watch a really, really high level striking fight, option one, watch Brad Riddell versus Rafael Fiziev. Option two, which in my opinion is the better option, watch Corey Sandhagen versus Petr Yan. Those guys made crazy reads on each other. It was such a technical striking matchup. Both guys looked amazing in the fight. It was pretty high volume as well for a Petr Yan fight. It was great. It was a very, very good striking matchup. Really, really recommend watching it. And I just think that Petr Yan's just going to be the better striker than Sean O'Malley. Petr Yan, though, one thing that is very frustrating, and in my opinion, is why he lost to Aljamain Sterling in the rematch. He's so low volume in the first round, and you could even extend that to the first two rounds. He's making reads on his opponent. He's figuring his opponent out. But I feel like maybe at this level, it's taking him too long, and it cost him the fight against Aljamain Sterling. In the first round, it took 2.5 minutes for Petr Yan to throw anything. And meanwhile, that whole 2.5 minutes that Yan was doing nothing, Aljamain Sterling was doing not a lot himself, to be fair, but he was scoring points. He was landing something, you know what I mean? And Yan was just kind of standing there, making reads, kind of pressuring in the center of the octagon. But it's not how you score points. And speaking of not scoring points as well, in the Sean O'Malley fight against Pedro Munoz in the first round, Pedro Munoz landed nothing to the body, nothing to the head, but he did land a lot of leg kicks. And a lot of people are saying, but Sean O'Malley was checking those leg kicks. But yes, but in the judges' eyes, I don't feel like the judges' eyes are looking for a check. You know what I mean? I feel like they're seeing Pedro Munoz be more offensive and looking to inflict more damage on his opponent, although maybe he's actually taking more damage from the check. Because I don't know if you guys have ever kicked before, but I might not look like it. I know I'm a very, very big boy, but I've kickboxed for years. I don't do it anymore because I had a mad surgery on my jaw. But checking kicks hurts. It's like kicking a pole because you're kicking someone else's shin to shin. Very painful, unbelievably painful. And but yeah, anyway, the point is, I think Petr Yan, I think he's gonna be kicking at legs over O'Malley. I think it's a little bit overrated, the brittleness of O'Malley's legs. He kind of had one freak injury, now everyone goes on about it. But Petr Yan is gonna be kicking the legs. I think he's gonna start off a little bit more aggressive as well in this matchup here, especially because it cost him the win over Aljamain Sterling. And I'm thinking that the fight stays on the feet as well. And if it goes to the ground, it's going to be Yan that's initiating the takedowns, initiating the wrestling, you know what I mean? I think Sean O'Malley might win the first round if Yan fights like he normally does and is very low volume. But I'm very wondering how this fight affects Sean O'Malley's stock. Because if he gets dominated by Petr Yan, does the stock go down or does the stock go up for taking the matchup? And if he beats Petr Yan, he gets a title shot. That's just got to be a sure thing, right? Surely. But if it's a competitive fight, I think Sean O'Malley's stock goes up. I think maybe if it's a competitive fight and Sean O'Malley loses, he fights Cruz. Maybe even if he gets dominated, he's probably going to fight dominant Cruz. But I think in the matchup, though, I think Petr Yan, I think he's just the better striker. I know that Sean O'Malley's bread and butter, but you've really got to watch the Corey Sandhagen fight to see how good of a striker Petr Yan is. And Petr Yan's offensive grappling is pretty strong as well. And I don't really mind the odds of Petr Yan getting on top of Sean O'Malley after a takedown and getting full might and getting some really good ground and pound. I don't mind that either at all. Maybe towards the end of the second round, he takes down Sean O'Malley, starts ground and pounding away, and then really puts it on him in the stand-up in the third round. I don't know how I feel about this fight for Sean O'Malley. I'm going to pick Petr Yan to win by KO. And it might even happen in the first, second, or third. It could happen at any time. I genuinely see Petr Yan being a very elite fighter. Very elite fighter. And I don't see many people beating Petr Yan for a long time. By the way, I picked Petr Yan to beat Sterling in the second fight. I was wrong. I do think Sterling won that matchup. And I actually picked Aljo. I actually had money on Aljo as well, by the way, to win the first fight, which I got lucky on. But yeah, I'm picking Yan. I'm picking Yan by finish. I think it's KO as well.